Up to Batham and back again, but not to those that have gathered here today to honor the truth and thereby refute the distortion of this truth. Their voices in the graves are silent now, but our voices must never be silent. To the student of the true interpretation of history, the South was morally and legally right to fight for its sovereignty. To say otherwise is irresponsible and the height of magical thinking. As our ancestors might quip as they marched into battle, it's a blank Yankee lie. Under the Constitution of the United States, the separate states consented to join the Union, recognizing the God-given right to do so, but they also recognized the God-given right to leave peacefully if they so chose to. This is called a government of the consent and is rooted in biblical truth. While one could argue about the causes of secession, the legal right existed. It's true that the great stain of slavery hung as a great evil over both the North and the South, but social problems are not solved by violence. Indeed, slavery did not cause the Upper South to leave the Union. It was a cause of freedom and allegiance to the Constitution. In fact, Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Arkansas refused to join the Confederacy. When the Deep South seceded, they would not join. They voted to stay in the Union. But Mr. Lincoln drove them out of the Union because he demanded that each state provide soldiers to form an army to go down south and to use violence to bring the Deep South back into the Union. At that time, the Upper South, Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Arkansas joined the Confederacy. They said, we want no part of a government that will use violence to solve problems. So slavery did not drive out the Upper South. That's a Yankee propaganda that they teach our kids in school. It was Mr. Lincoln's incompetence as a politician. He drove them out. They would not stand on the side of a government that would use violence to kill its fellow citizens. So, legally, the South had the right to secede. Morally, the people of the South fought for one reason only. When Confederates were captured, Yankees would ask them, why are you fighting? And they would say, because you're here. They fought because we were invaded. All people have the right to defend themselves from aggression. And defend ourselves we did for 4 years against incredible odds. Over 1/4 of all Southerners, males, that joined the military were either killed or wounded. The best of the best died defending their homes and their new nation. And the attendant suffering on the women and children is beyond what we can comprehend in this modern society. There would be no father coming home for many of these families. So listen not to the voices that malign our Confederate heritage, be they from the media, the schools, the politicians, or your quote-unquote friends. Heed them not. Visit upon them the righteous scorn born of the past sacrifice of your Confederate ancestors. Repudiate them by word and deed. Those that are our friends will understand, and those that are not, well, we can pass them by. Be proud to be called a Southerner. Again, the sons and the daughters of the Confederacy is what we see here today. If these people here could speak from the grave, they would approve of us and what we're doing for them and on their behalf. Courage stands here today above and below the sacred ground of the South. May God grant that the true blood of the Southern cause, which is love of country, love of family, will never be lost from the land. As General Robert E. Lee told us and reflected in the Word of God, do your duty in all things. Thank you very much for coming, and God bless the South.